Hey soldier, let's get right tonight.
Here I go, scream my lungs out and try to get to you. You are my only one. I let go, but there's just no one that gets me like you do. You are my only one.
Yo, 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 what is good? Welcome to the Solgr and Fusha Only show. I am Solgr Only.
With the one and only Fusha here as well.
Welcome to this week's episode. We got a lot to get into because one of our favorite shows is coming back next Saturday, and it has been gone for a long time.
It's been a year. Except for the Christmas special, because that's all we got.
Yeah, we're speaking of Doctor Who, by the way.
Yes.
But the last two episodes that we've even had of the show is two Christmas specials. So obviously a year apart. It's been a long break.
I am so excited. I'm a little nervous, though, I must admit, just because Stephen Moffat isn't going to be doing the writing anymore.
After this season, though.
After this season, but I mean, in the past season that was over a year ago, it was kind of not as good as it has been before, but it was still good. It's still Doctor Who. I still love it, don't get me wrong, but I just get nervous about the new writer.
He also wrote a lot less episodes than he normally does throughout the season.
And I noticed. Oh, did I notice?
I mean, he usually would write at least half of the episodes in a season. Most of the time, more than half. But that last full season that we had, he only wrote like maybe a quarter of them, if that.
Yeah, and that makes me sad because Moffat is just amazing. Stephen Moffat, he is so good.
He's a genius, and he's the one behind all the classic Doctor Who storylines that we'll get into in a little bit later.
Not necessarily classic, because when you say classic, I think
you're thinking of back to the original.
Tom Baker.
Yeah. Maybe classic's the wrong word then. Maybe just some of the best moments in the Doctor Who.
Reboot.
Since the reboot, yeah. Because he was a writer for Russell Davies, who was the first showrunner after the reboot. And then when Russell Davies left after Tennant, right? Yeah, because Moffat became the showrunner at the same time Matt Smith became the Doctor. But yeah, we'll get all into that into a little in here in a minute. But real quick, just on the Destiny front, there hasn't really been too much more. I mean, we're still chugging along on the Destiny 2 hype train, and the Age of Triumph hype train as well, because obviously Age of Triumph dropped the day before, these trailers and all the hype for Destiny 2 started. But this week, the Vault of Glass raid was brought up to the 390 light level, and I actually finally ran my first raid a few nights ago.
Yeah, because it was also our anniversary.
Yeah, it was Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a few days ago. Yeah, it was. It was interesting. I mean, we didn't get it finished. We kept wiping a lot. I mean, most of the raid group that I was playing with, we were just pretty much just having fun, anyways. Like we weren't really taking it too serious, but it was still a lot of fun playing in a group of 6 people with the Team MZ fam. And it was a lot of fun doing that, especially doing something in Destiny that I haven't done before. Like I've been playing the game for a year now, and probably somewhere around 600 hours or something like that. Probably over 600 hours by now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really awesome to do some things that I hadn't seen before or done. And the Vault of Glass is just an awesome looking raid, especially that last room where Atheon is. One thing I did talk about on this last week's episode of Destiny Unplugged was some of the release dates for the 2 expansions that are already planned for Destiny 2. It seems like it's going to keep up to kind of the same schedule as what Destiny 1 did with the Dark Below and House of Wolves and stuff. So Destiny 2 will come out September 8th, and then the first expansion, which is the Trials of Osiris themed one, will drop. It's supposed to be December of 2017, so just a couple months after Destiny 2 comes out. And then the second expansion is supposed to be Rasputin themed, and that one's actually supposed to drop sometime in the spring of 2018. So that's a lot of content that we're getting within the first 6, 7, 8 months tops. In that first 7 or 8 months. That's a lot of content that we're going to be getting, especially with Destiny 2. It's a whole new game. Bungie's putting a lot of emphasis in it that it's not just like some big expansion or anything.
Just putting on set.
They're making it very clear that it is a full-blown sequel. It's separate. It's its own thing. It's not like they're rebooting the story or anything, right? So it's nothing like that. They're not acting like Destiny 1 never happened. So narratively, yeah, it's carrying over, but, the logo, it's a Destiny with a big 2, it doesn't even have a subtitle. A lot of people were thinking that there was going to be a subtitle with it, too, because a long time ago, there was this rumor going around, that it was going to be called, Shattered Suns, or something, which sounded pretty cool, but, we haven't heard anything like that. There has been no mention whatsoever of any kind of subtitle or anything like that. But the TWAB on this week at Bungie, Deej pretty much said, I'm just kind of paraphrasing, but he pretty much noted how they have finally announced and shown a trailer to Destiny 2, that they're kind of starting to talk about it. But he also said that they're focusing on Age of Triumph right now. But the time is going to come soon where they're going to start talking a lot more about Destiny 2. We're supposed to get the first gameplay reveal on May 18th, and that's pretty much the date that all Guardians are waiting for in high anticipation.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that none of the weapons and things like that is going to carry over, but I kind of like the previews that they've shown where it's explaining that, yeah, Gary is the one that is the reason that you're not going to have any of that anymore.
Yeah, from what it looks like he's like the captain or the head, whatever you want to call it, of this division of the Cabal, because all those other Cabal characters, they don't look like any other Cabals that we've seen before.
Yeah.
Because that leak that we had with the toys, remember back on Amazon a while ago? Mm-hmm. It said something about a Red Guard, and if you notice in that trailer, all those Cabal, they have kind of reddish kind of armor and stuff. I think that's the Red Guard. Admittedly, I don't know everything about all the lore, and I haven't read all the Grimoire cards or anything like that, so I don't know if there is any mention about the Red Guards in Destiny 1 or anything with the Grimoire, so I don't know what is really known about it. But what it seems like, everything I've heard before, there isn't really a lot on them. I would imagine, because the Cabal are really militaristic, really military-like. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine that the Red Guard is probably a special, elite division of them.
Could be, yeah. I'm excited about it, though, either way.
Yeah, because, you have to figure, this is going to be heavily Cabal-themed. There's, obviously, the raid is going to be Cabal-centered. We're finally going to get a Cabal raid, because there hasn't been a Cabal raid whatsoever. And you got to figure, Gary is probably the raid boss.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the main first boss you fight.
Well, I hope they do what they did with Oryx in the Taken King, because you actually fight him in the campaign where he isn't too hard to beat solo. Because I beat Oryx solo 20 times, Yeah. But you also face him again when you do the King's Fall raid. So he's a boss in the campaign, but then he's a raid boss as well. And I hope they do the same thing with Gary, that you fight him in the campaign where you can beat him solo. Yeah. But then you have it harder in a raid for 6. me being the big lone wolf I am, I hope that raids in Destiny 2 have matchmaking like strikes do.
Cool.
Because you've noticed how I do strikes because it just automatically pairs you with people.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is raids, as I recently told you, they're a lot more mechanic based.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there, they won't do raids they won't bring you in on a raid team if you don't have a mic or headset, because you have to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
So if there is some kind of matchmaking, maybe they're able to work it out some way to where, in order for the matchmaking to work, maybe the game or the console or somehow can detect that you have a headset and mic or whatever connected.
Yeah.
And then that's the only way that it'll work. Maybe just
That
if something like that can
a little
work.
too complex. Like I don't know if they'll put that much time into.
Yeah, it does seem a little convoluted, but I don't think they would do that. It's just a hope. It's just a hope, because I want to raid, but I also, like I said, I play the game solo 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been starting to play with a lot more people since I'm streaming now, and
Yeah.
I mean, I was playing with somebody again today. There's a few people that come in chat every day that want to play. I don't talk to them in party chat every day, but sometimes I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, there really hasn't been not really too much like new stuff over the last week as far as Destiny 2 is concerned. But one thing I want to get into real quick is me and you have also. I think we might have touched on it. Yeah, we did talk about it last week a little bit. 'Cause remember the zombie stream?
Oh yeah.
So we did it again this week, but we actually did it 2 nights. Because we did
we
it
did
it Friday night to kind of celebrate our anniversary with the Team MC fam.
Yeah. And then we did it Saturday night as well, and I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, they're fun.
It was nice. I mean, we definitely improved a lot more Saturday than what we were doing Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I went Facebook Live for the first time and just was kind of showing what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. I like playing zombies. Although you do have to forgive me because I tap out after like 2 hours. I'm like, okay, next thing, and it's just my short attention span.
Yeah.
It's like, unless something really, really grabs me, I'm like...
Yeah, you have what did your brother-in-law say?
I have my nephew's attention span.
But it's like the attention span of a goldfish.
Mm-hmm. And it's true. It's true. I won't deny it. I have a very short attention. Like, I don't know. I get into things and then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do next? I can't help it, though. It's... Some things I can get into and play for a long time, and other things I'm like, I'll do it for a little bit.
I've seen you concentrate on puzzles for long periods of time.
I think
you're able to watch TV and movies and stuff too.
Movies, yeah, movies and TV I'm able to watch, but I think puzzles are the only thing that I don't have a short attention span on. Although sometimes when I'm kind of stuck on a puzzle and I'm not getting any pieces, and then I've worked on it for 2 hours and I've only found 2 pieces, I'm like, I'll come back to this later.
Yeah,
maybe I'll have better luck next time.
That's actually just how most people are anyways. That's just more frustration than anything.
Yeah, true. But I still, I was able to get a little more done on my puzzle. It's kind of hard with the situation where we have everything now, though, because, the table, the pieces, I mean, if I could have all the pieces out at once and look at them, then I'd get more done. But because I still have to search through a box and I can only have a limited amount of pieces out, and then I have to search through the box, it makes it difficult. But I mean, that's probably about the only thing I do have a good long attention span with is a puzzle.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, I can see that. But yeah, the zombie stream that we had Friday was really awesome. We had a couple of the Team MZ fam from they're from England.
Oh yeah, that's right.
talked to us the whole stream. I mean, it was actually, in their time over in Europe, they actually stayed up all night until the early morning. But our time, we streamed until about 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for about their time, that was, I think it was like 8:30 or 9 in the morning their time.
I worked on my puzzle a little after we quit streaming. I know when I found out that it was that time for them where they were at, I was like, Jesus, I would be so dead. Like, I may only be going on 28, but I feel like I'm 40 years old sometimes. And it's like I was out and about and did all that in my 16 teenage angst years that now I'm like, nope, I'm tired.
Look at me, though. That night that we streamed till 1:30, that was the first time I'd been up, like, past midnight. And...
Well, you know what really surprised me about that is we still woke up early the next day, and I think it was only because of coffee. That was the first time that I didn't just pass right back out. I actually stayed up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah, we've been having a lot of fun. Yeah, doing the zombie streams. We're gonna keep doing them every Saturday. We don't have like an exact time nailed down, but I mean there is other games that we're also gonna try and do it too. Other split screen games, because I mean we can sometimes go back and do like Black Ops 3 zombies. There's 7 Days to Die. We'd be able to do Gears of War.
Gears of War was fun. I wouldn't mind doing Gears of War again, because Gears of War was actually one of the first ones we ever did stream. But there was a mic problem, like they couldn't hear me, and so and I don't think we really had too many people watching us that time. But
no, that was during that really short time frame. We were streaming from consoles last year.
Yeah, we were still streaming from consoles.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, because that's good, because this actually leads right into the next thing I want to talk about. We've kind of mentioned it before, how we wanted to get around to doing it, but I think next Sunday is going to be our first time streaming this podcast live on Twitch, on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Solgr only. That's another thing that we kind of need to nail down an exact time that we'll do it.
Throughout the week we'll figure something out. Because, I mean, if we do it next Sunday, we just have to account for if I go to my mom's before or after. Because I have that weekly thing that I go and take care of.
Yeah, I mean, we can try and set it for maybe like 7-ish p.m. Mountain Time.
Maybe 6-ish. Well,
yeah, 6 or 7 is kind of like, at least the area. That's kind of like the area I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because, I mean, it depends on how long it is, because I still got work Monday.
Yeah, well, no, it's still going to be 45 minutes, because how we're going to do it, we're going to still be having this program running, so we're still able to post audio versions.
Okay.
But then it will just be streaming to Twitch at the same time. So the stream will be hearing it through this. And then this, I mean, we're not going to have them hooked up to this. So that's why I said we might get your mic out, and there's another outlet in the back of the PC.
That makes sense, okay.
I'm going to have to arrange it, because I think for it to be able to read both of them, I can't remember how I'm going to have to figure out how to get it working, but that's how it's going to work. I mean, we're pretty much going to record it, just right here, so we'll have audio, and then right there. And then, so we'll put, I mean, because then we can upload the archived stream onto YouTube, so then that way YouTube will have a video. And then the audio version from here still would obviously still go to Spreaker.
Yeah.
Because when we record these on Spreaker, remember, you can find them on Spreaker, right? So there'll still be audio versions on that. We can still put audio versions on like Facebook or WordPress. I mean, so then that way we have audio or video versions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and once we get like a big enough following, we can also start putting them on like iTunes and iHeartRadio and stuff.
That'd be cool.
once we get a certain... I don't know if there's like a specific amount you have to have, like a specific number they look for, or if it's just kind of up to their discretion.
Yeah.
That you have a big enough audience.
That could be. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we ever get there. We're taking one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like we've said many times before, you know, like, we're only 2 people, and there's a lot of stuff, you know, we do with obviously day jobs and all that too, but just this on its own, you know, Twitch and YouTube and podcasts and, you know, and then doing all the research to try and keep up on all the information that we talk about, you know, like, it's exhausting, and it's full-time it's a full-time activity in its own right, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Love doing it.
Yeah. I do agree. It's been nice. It's like it's just crazy to think how much time really goes by and everything like that. Yeah, it's just crazy, but
yeah, because we
it.
actually started this podcast.
Our first podcast was when we went to go see Suicide Squad in theaters,
which was like end of last summer, probably. Yeah,
I
remember
so.
we were doing it in the car where it was quiet.
Yeah,
and how hot it was.
And I got the movie tickets from work.
Yeah, so I think it was last summer. It was like the end of last summer. Because if I remember right, I think the first episode we did might have been in like August. Mm-hmm. Like end of August or...
No, it would have been May. Because Suicide Squad came out in May.
Oh, it did?
I thought so. I thought it was May 5th that Suicide Squad came out. Of last year.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was more like in the middle of the summer. Yeah. All right. But yeah, that's definitely something that we've been working towards for a while, is trying to get these streamed, because there is a directory on Twitch called Talk Shows where we can stream it to a talk show where you don't have to have a game on. It's literally just on that. So yeah, we're gonna go for it for next week to have our first first episode streamed on Twitch live. Mm-hmm. And then as far as Doctor Who's concerned,
I can't wait. I just zoning out. Sorry, I can't wait for Doctor Who. It comes back this Saturday, because we're already on Sunday, and I'm excited to meet this new character Billy. And I'm excited to see where this is going to go, because not only that, but you're going to deal with your first goodbye of a Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not goodbye, but regeneration of a Doctor, because he's going to be going.
Yeah.
Capaldi is going to... This is going to be his last season. But I am still just super excited. I can't wait for it. I mean, it's gone so long without Who that I've been having Who withdrawals, but... I'm excited because I've seen a few previews of Doctor Who. I've seen quite a few, and I'm really excited to meet this new character, Billy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looks interesting. I mean, that very first reveal trailer that they put out a long time ago.
Yeah, they put it out a while ago, and she's like, "Why do they say exterminate?" And she like mimics him, and he's like, Do you really want him to slow down when they
Why
kill
don't they just say kill? Do you really want them to save time? She's like, good point. Right. Yeah, she looks like she's
spunky.
Yeah, that, and a lot of humor. Like, I bet she's gonna be pretty funny.
I think so.
She seems like it. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. Because, like you said, I've never dealt with like a regeneration like live, like currently watching when the season is current in a regeneration, because when I got into Doctor Who, it was like right after it was
Capaldi was already Doctor.
Yeah, Capaldi was already Doctor. But I have gone back and watched every single episode, so I have seen every single episode. But
this is your first current regeneration, whereas all the other ones, it was past regenerations at like 10 to... From Eccleston to 10, and then from 10 to Smith. Mm-hmm. It was going back and rewatching things. It wasn't current with the most recent episode, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and remember, I was saying this the other day, I haven't really put like a lot of thought into it, but I kind of just have a feeling that they're gonna go young again, like a young Doctor, but not like Matt Smith was when he was like, you know, the youngest Doctor. I don't think they're gonna go
Matt
like
Smith. He was so good.
He was
long
very
as you
good.
remember all the people you used to be. It just the first face this face saw, and I was like, oh no.
he definitely has the best regeneration by far.
Well, yeah, because a Time Lord is only supposed to have 12 lives.
Yeah.
And he was 11 lives.
And he had just gotten a new cycle of regeneration, so that first one was like powerful. Like he brought down a Dalek ship, and but I'm not even counting just that. I mean, you know how much I love just that moment of the regeneration too. Like, remember when I first saw it? I watched it on YouTube like a million times. But even his prologue, you know, after his dialogue that he does after that is so good, and it kind of makes you wonder like how much of it is written, how much of it is kind of improv.
Well, then again, you gotta go back to 10 because Moffat made him say, I don't want to go, when he wanted to go.
He did, yeah. See, and Moffat loves putting things like that, too. And then we also saw years later, on the Day of the Doctor, when David Tennant says it again, and Matt Smith is like, God, he says that all the time. Like, don't listen to him, he says that all the time.
Well, then I saw a meme where it's like the Doctor's getting out of trouble with himself, from the, it was from the Day of the Doctor, where it has the War Doctor, Tennant and Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember exactly what the meme said, but it was like trying to get out of trouble with yourself in front of yourself.
Mm-hmm. That is still one of my favorite episodes ever. I mean, it's a special. It was the 50th anniversary special.
And it was good. It was really good. I loved it. And it goes back to that other meme that I really love of Doctor Who, where it's like, McFly, or whatever his name was, from Back from the Future. I met my parents before I was born. And then it says River Song. That's cute. My parents named me after myself.
Right? Oh, I know. That is so good. I mean, see, and that's like what I kind of hope to see this next season. Is I hope that we get like an episode, at least one, that's one of those ones, you know, that just lives on in Doctor Who fandom forever. You know what I mean? Like, like Blink. You know, Blink is one of those legendary episodes. I mean, because like last season,
I loved her name, Sally Sparrow. Like, that's such a beautiful name.
Yeah, that name is awesome, Sally Sparrow. Like, I love that episode. But I mean, the last season that we had, I mean, it was good, but there wasn't, you know, there hasn't really been one like that. I mean, I thought that crap was crazy. Remember that episode when he was trapped in that prison thing? Remember the thing? It just, the same thing, it was like Groundhog Day, remember, but Doctor Who status, where he just kept living the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, so he was smashing through that thing, and he ended up finding that he was in a little Time Lord thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was right before he got to Gallifrey.
Yeah.
And that one was good in how intense it was, because remember, you end up finding that he had been living that same thing over for, like, hundreds and thousands of years, so that he can get through that thing.
Yeah, because they were asking him, like, a question, like, what his name was, and he was never going to say it.
No lies, yeah. Remember, he couldn't tell any lies. Anytime he told the truth, it would stop, and then it would restart over.
Yeah.
And it was like a torture technique that Razalon was doing to him.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good episode. I really loved that episode.
Yeah, and another thing I loved about it, too, was that, I mean, that was probably one of the best ones from the last season, I think. I mean, that's the one...
I think so.
That's the one that sticks out right now. That's still... still sticks out in my memory.
The one that kind of sticks out that wasn't good was the dream one, where you sleep for 50 years, but you have all this energy to I don't remember exactly what it was, but that one wasn't too good. That one I was a little disappointed in. This you missed that one. I don't know if you actually watched it, but it was like this sleep monster.
I know what one you mean, because I remember I watched it like a few days later.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really get into it. I know what you mean, though. Yeah, I didn't really care for that one either. That one was kind of...
But that other one was really good. And then the way... See, and here's one big thing with me and Doctor Who is Clara Oswald, I can't stand. But before you knew her as Clara Oswald and she was the Impossible Girl, I was like, who is this person? She's incredible. Like, I thought so much more of her. And then she comes in as a regular character, day and age, Clara Oswald, and it's like, I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Amy and Rory, and a lot of it became Amy and Rory's show, which is true, but I still love Matt Smith. But, I mean, Clara Oswald was so my way. Oh, the doctor will get me out of this, and that's what got her killed, and it's like... And then she lied to Danny Pink.
Like, she was awful to him at so many different times.
She's so awful. And then it broke my heart when she's like, I'm the best liar around. Ask anyone. And Danny Pink
correct. He was the Cyberman, so he said correct.
He's like, correct. And it was just like, oh, you didn't realize that it was Danny Pink.
Right after you do, because remember, he's holding that piece of paper was stuck to his hand, because remember, he ripped his, like, the sheet, because he was dead.
Well, and then it goes to, like, the end of the world, like, not the end of the world, but when he passes and he's in death, and they're like, oh, you were scheduled to be cremated?
Cremated, that's why you're cold.
Yeah, you're like, this is gonna hurt. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be cremated. I want to be, but if I go into a tree, I have to be cremated to be put in ashes with an urn. So, hopefully I don't feel it in the afterlife. Just the things I think about,
Well, what was crazy was the sacrifice he did, too, because remember Carla, Carla?
Who?
I forgot the companion's name already. Carla? Clara.
Clara?
Clara, yeah, Clara Oswald. Oh my god, I'm saying Carla.
Yeah, see,
Clara.
I'm like, are you
It's been
trying
a while
to say
since
Carl?
yeah.
That's a different show.
No, yeah, it's been a while since we've had Doctor Who. I'm forgetting their names. But yeah, remember she had it finagled somewhere where, remember, he can come back, but instead he sent the kid back through?
Yeah.
Remember? And yeah.
And then she wanted to go, and she just wanted to be with Danny Pink. But she was just so much, I liked her so much more genuine as the Impossible Girl. But as soon as she became Clara Oswald and you saw the personality of Clara Oswald, that's when I was like,
you know what's crazy, though? We had a season after this, though. This wasn't even the last season.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember the last season was the one, Clara...
Yeah, because she's like, the doctor will save me, and me. That was another complaint.
She did that whole thing again, too, where she didn't care what she did because she thought the doctor would always get her out of it.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing that's another thing I had an issue with is a couple years ago, the previews, Doctor, you came back. It's like, who's that? Is that from the past? Who is that going to be? And come to find out it's a girl from last week's episode. It's like, really?
Yeah, Me. Wasn't her name Me? Just Me?
Yeah, she goes by just Me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think it could be better. And that's kind of like, the things like that is what makes me worry that Moffat isn't around anymore. And things like that is what shows Moffat really hasn't been writing that much anymore.
But that's, a show like Doctor Who, that's the risk they take, though, because of the type of universe and everything that it's in and what they're able to do, like time travel and all this stuff. Like, they can do anything, so that's the risk they run, is that sometimes it could be so good. Like, it could just be so gnarly and emotional, and just riveting. But then sometimes it could just be, like, I don't know, just so convoluted. Sometimes, it's dumb or...
Yeah, see, and
you know what I mean? So sometimes it could be lost
to
on
see
me.
you actually get into it, because when I tell you about it, you're like, wow, that's a lot. And it's a science fiction show, and it goes off about time and space and relative dimension and space, and time and relative dimension and space is TARDIS, It's just, you gotta have the creativity for the sci-fi effect of it, because so much of it is just sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. Well, what always... The reason why I didn't get into it sooner, I mean, what always... The thing I couldn't get over was, people, say, oh yeah, it's a show that's been going on for 50 years, you know? I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to get into a show that's 50 years old. I'm going to binge watch 10,000 episodes, you know? That's not how many episodes there is. I'm just exaggerating, but
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, it started back in 1964.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
It was 63, actually, I think.
Yeah, it was 63. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll catch right up, you know? But it actually isn't really that hard to get into because all you really have to do is just kind of go back to the reboot in 2005. And then honestly, anything else you see, if you do go back before that, it's just kind of bonus, you know? Because they did really good at bringing in the new audience with, I don't like calling it a reboot because it's technically not a reboot. You know what I mean? Because the first 8 Doctors did happen.
Well, in the first Doctor, I love how they were able to, because when Doctor Who first came out, it was to teach history.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an educational show, but then the Doctor, Hartnell, I think, it was Hartnell.
William Hartnell.
Hartnell, he was
He got
terminally
cancer.
ill, and they didn't want to end the show, so then they created Regeneration because he is a Time Lord, and that is really what
I think I
broke
read
the
something.
mold for a lot of shows out there.
I'm not positive, but I almost want to say I could have sworn that I read something that he actually kind of came up with it.
I think it did because he
wanted
didn't want
the show to really. He was the one that really wanted the show to go on.
Yeah.
Because he had so much love for it and he loved doing it, and he wanted the show to keep going. Yeah, just exactly that. I'm trying to remember. Did he do? It was like 4, wasn't it? 3 or 4 seasons before. Because I know the actor that's done him the longest, I think, was Tom Baker, because he did like 7.
Yeah.
And then it's weird because ever since they brought the show back in 2005, the longest anyone's done it is 3 years, and 3 people have now done it for 3 years. If in fact Capaldi does go this year,
Which is rumored.
I think. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty confirmed because we've seen it said by like Doctor Who people.
That's true.
It's not just rumor sites just saying like, oh, you know, supposedly Peter Capaldi, you know, this is going to be his last year. I mean, when I was reading about it, it was from actual like Doctor Who crew. Like it was actual, and network. I think it was from BBC too. I think I read it from. So it's going to be his last one, you know. Like I'm not. But yeah, I'm hyped for it. Like I said, you know, like it's gonna be my first regeneration, so it's gonna. And then
I'm excited for Missy too. I love Missy and how they brought back the Master as a woman. It's like perfect.
I almost said that earlier. They actually brought Rassilon back as a woman too, because last time we saw Rassilon was back in the David Tennant days, when the Master back then. Remember when he was trying to bring the Time Lords back through that portal?
Yeah.
And remember that guy that was narrating it? That was Rassilon. And then when we saw Rassilon, he had in whatever time frame has gone on between that and there, he had regenerated. So it's gonna be crazy because counting the War Doctor, there was 13. Oh no, but that's after. Okay, yeah, that's right, because Capaldi is the first Doctor after he got the new cycle of regenerations back. So he's had 1 on the current one now. So this next one will be like the second Doctor on this batch of regenerations.
I'm super stoked. I'm excited about it. I am so glad the Doctor Who is back.
See, do we even know like who exactly like sent those through time? I mean, we know it was obviously the Time Lords.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would have been like Rassilon, because like obviously like look, Rassilon like is like an enemy to him. Because Rassilon definitely doesn't like the Doctor after, because he put an end to it back in David Tennant. I think this season might have something to do with that. Because remember, Capaldi's arc from the beginning of Capaldi, remember, was the whole, I've seen this face before, you know? Like, why did I choose this face?
And the reason behind that was not near as epic as I was expecting.
We predicted it, right? You know,
Yeah.
it was one of the rare times where we actually seen it coming. In Doctor Who, a lot of the times it's not what you think.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes they go so far out there.
I chose this face so that...
To remind me that I can break the rules every now and then and save people. It reminded him of all the times that he has, gone against the rules, the Time Lord rules. Because, you know, he's really big on fixed points in time. It has to happen, yada yada. But then there's been times. Because it flashed back to when he was David Tennant.
Time can be rewritten.
See, and
not those moments. Don't you dare.
Yeah. Yep. And it was really easy to get into Doctor Who for me too, because the first one I actually sat and watched was The Waters of Mars, which was so good, and the ending to that one is tragic. I mean, that's another one of those tragic episodes of Doctor Who, like the ending. I just hope this year that we get one of those episodes that is, you know, just epic. I hope it's not, I mean, because like I said, like that last full season that we had, it seemed like it was just kind of going through the motions, you know? I mean, they were good. Some of them we didn't like at all, like the Dream Monster one. But then there's the ones that were just kind of like, all right, you know, good.
Yeah.
Was the last season we had? Yeah, it was. Remember the Fisher King one when Corey Taylor from Slipknot did the scream vocals for it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a good one.
That one was really good. I mean, yeah, it has been so long, so we actually have to like sit here and kind of think about.
Oh no, because I was even telling you, I was like, "What was the last Christmas special?" Because for some reason I had in my mind that it was
The Husband's
River Song, and I was like, "No, there's no way that was the last one." I know there was another one, but it took me a second to think, like, "Oh wait, what one was it?" And it was the superhero one, and I love that one. I actually really did enjoy that one where it's like, "Here, take this. You told me you're a doctor and told me to take this." And he becomes a superhero from it, you know? It's a cool spin on things.
Well, and I like how his Superman, you obviously saw comparisons to Superman in the episode.
Yeah.
He was really, you could tell that they were comparing, like, you know, paying homage to Superman. But his alternate identity, he was like a nanny for this woman, the single woman's kid that he was secretly in love with.
And had always been,
yeah, because he knew her, like, his whole life.
Yeah.
Because he knew her back in school when he was young. Yeah, I kind of hope that what was it was Dr. Mysterio, wasn't it?
Yeah, The Return of Dr. Mysterio.
Dr. Mysterio, yeah. But that isn't what he called himself, I thought, I don't remember now, see? Oh, we're awful at this right now.
I know, please forgive us.
I know, it's been so long since we had to... do we even really know, like, why they took that year off from having a season of Doctor Who? Maybe it was just for Moffat to kind of get house in order before he leaves.
I think it was because of that.
Because...
I'm not entirely sure, though.
Because remember when they announced that? It was all in the same announcement. Remember when we read it? It was the announcement of, okay, this next season is going to be Moffat's last one. Oh, by the way, the season's going to be in 2017, not 2016. Because remember, we read this in 2015.
Yep, that's true. Oh my god, it's been that long. Oh my god, it's been so long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We read this in 2015, like the fall or something of 2015. Because then, normally in April of 2016, we would have normally had that next season. Mm-hmm. But it was before that, and we were reading about Doctor Who, and it's like, oh yeah, next season is going to be Moffat's last one.
I was so bummed when there was no Who for 2016. I'm like, wow, that is a bad year.
All we had was the Christmas special.
Yeah.
The one that you're talking about with the superhero one, which was good.
Yeah.
Do you remember if Moffat wrote that or not?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, we're actually going to have to leave that right there, though, because I just noticed our time is rapidly wrapping up. So, this time next week, though, we will talk about our first Doctor Who episode. So, next week's episode will be pretty
Intense. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we're definitely hyped for Doctor Who starting next week. Also, make sure you tune in to twitch.tv/Solgr only to watch this podcast live on Twitch next week. Probably about 6 or 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So, thanks for listening. Follow on Twitter at SportsNerd48 for any updates, and we will see you in the next one.
Fusha out.